Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Hunkydory Crafts, I've got these fantastic tearing rulers. They come in a 3-pack just like this. Look at all these fantastic edges, and my friend Debbie made this card using them with a cut edge as well as the torn edge. That's right, these edges are torn. Absolutely fabulous. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, so on a white background so you can see the numbers on them, so you can use them as actual rulers, but when we were tearing them on our cards, we actually didn't use the numbers. We just kind of did a little free form on that. But before I get into the card ideas, I'm going to show you the different types of paper and or cardstock you can use with these and what they will do differently, okay? So let's move this out of the way. And so right here I have examples of patterned paper and patterned cardstock, okay? So let's take a look, and then once we get into the cards, I'll show you these patterned papers that we used. So first of all, let me see if I can find the one that Debbie used. Let's try this one. All right, so this one is patterned paper, okay? And it's a hot off the press patterned paper, beautiful lilac paper. Debbie recommends using just a little bit of misted water, okay? So you just want to, like, quite far away. You're just wanting that edge of your paper that you're going to be tearing just a little bit far away. And then you're going to place your ruler. You can do it up closer if you would like. I'm going to be tearing a little bit farther away so we can really see that, you know, torn edge going all the way down. And if you have a paper that is printed on the outside and then white core on the inside, depending on which piece you use after you've torn it, you're either going to get a white torn edge or you're going to get a solid edge. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. I like to have the ruler just a little bit above it and then tear fast instead of slow. All right, so you can see on this edge, let's get zoomed in. So you can see on this edge, this was the edge that was against the surface of the table, and there's a little bit of a white edge right there. This is the edge that I tore away. Okay, ooh, it doesn't like the pattern. It doesn't want me to move around. All right, so you see the difference there? All right, and this is from paper, okay? Now let's take a look at a different one. Let's try this one, okay? This is kind of a jaggedy decal edge. And this is patterned cardstock, okay? This is our printed patterned cardstock, and the weight on these, this is 65 pounds cover weight cardstock. Cover just means it's a thicker weight than just like a typical cardstock. All right, and oop, I missed it first. Okay, and we're gonna place this right there. Once again, a little bit above, let's zoom out a little bit. All right, and see, you've got this at the top. And then I would suggest when you're first starting, giving yourself a little bit more of a handle there for tearing. I'm just gonna move that over. And remember, if you tear, let me show you what it looks like if you tear slowly. Okay, it's just a little bit more difficult, but if you're putting pressure on the ruler, pressure with your hand, and you tear quickly, I think it's easier. All right, so let's take a look. This is the one that I tore and left on the table. I don't know why I said cabinet. And this is the one that I tore away. All right, so you've got a firm white edge on this, and then an edge that's just a little bit different. Gotta adjust my chair. There we go. All right, so now let's do some white core cardstock, okay? So this is solid colored cardstock. It's got a white core in it. This is 65-pound cover. Right. And once again, let's use a different one. There we go. This one's got a really jaggedy edge, like a zigzag. Okay, get started there. Okay. This one has a really jaggedy edge on it. You'll see that one. And then, I bent this up pretty good. Look at that one. Okay, and Debbie used this technique on an upcoming card. All right, now let's try this on a different one. Let's try it on the wavy edge. This is the bigger wavy edge. Okay. Okay, look at that very white edge there. And then look at the edge where I tore it away. Two very different looks. The back side of this, different color. Okay, that's where you're seeing the white edge on the back side. Now let's take a look at, we also have at Paper Wishes, this giant pad of solid core cardstock. Okay, and this one's 110-pound weight, so it's pretty thick. And let's use yellow. Little mist. And let's use this big zigzag. Okay. And then this one, you're not going to get a white edge at all. Ooh. I want a second try at this one. Not happy with that one. I think that was user error. All right, let's try this one. So on this one, let's tear it closer to the edge. There we go. Really kind of leaning into that one. There we go. I kept tearing it too slow too. All right. So that's that torn edge. Let's zoom in a little bit on that one. So this one, much more jaggedy, the one that was left on the table, and this is the one that I tore away. All right, and you see there's no torn edge. There's no white edge, no white core edge on this one. All right, so those are the different kinds of paper that we offer. So let's take a look at the cards. All right, so for this one, you guys, I actually tore the edge of my 5 by 6.5 inch card. All right, I just put the tear ruler right on the edge. I used this one, okay, put that right on the edge and just tore that away. Figure out, oh no, here we go. I'm like, where's all my rulers? Tore that away, and then I used khaki ink with my favorite little blender tool, and I just opened the card edge up and put a craft mat under here, and I just inked it a good like 3/4 of an inch down the edge. And then I used Mystical Florals 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, and I used this gorgeous print right here that's on the back of the cutouts, and tore the edge with this wavy one. Okay, and then just covered the entire surface of the card, and then I took the paper that I just showed you, here we go, this one, and I tore away from it and inked the edges of that with that khaki ink again and glued it just about 3/4 of an inch from the fold, and just did a real layered effect. Then to cover up this white edge of the inside of the card, just took the remainder from one of these and glued it here after inking the edge. Used the cutout from the paper pad book, or patterned cardstock. And then, you guys, I used jeweled butterfly acetate die cuts. They just wow, I'm having trouble speaking today. Punch right out. I took my little scissors and I actually cut some of the acetate from around the edge, folded this butterfly in half, and then just used some glue right there, just let that have a little bit of dimension there. And then right at the top, I'm using gold pearl little, wow, yeah, birds. This is going to be interesting today. My mouth isn't working right. So yeah, those adorable little birds here and here, just to add a little spot of sparkle there. All right, so let's move on to the next one. I think my brain is working a little faster than my mouth today. All right, next, this gorgeous card that Debbie made. So on this one, you guys, Debbie used both edges of this one, okay? Where it has that real zigzag and then the more gentle zigzag right here. And the paper packs that she used were Forest Magic 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, all right? And then she used this one right here to cover the edges of her card on the left and right. I should mention this is 6.5 by 5 inches. So just a little bit down each side. And then she took this piece right here, which I believe is one of these little cutout pieces that we have there. We call them card toppers. She glued that across the center, but then she had an empty spot at the top and the bottom. So she used this portion of the ruler and used the coordinating cardstock in the light blue and this sort of, on the opposite side of it, this sort of burgundy color. And she just took layers of that and started with the light blue at the top, then the burgundy, and then another layer of light blue, that at the top and the bottom. And then at the center here, she actually took this light blue cardstock and tore it using the larger side, and then put it on either side of one of the little pieces of paper from the book, just like a scrap piece of paper. Before gluing it down, added the cutout from the paper pack, then glued the borders on either top of it, so it was kind of sandwiched in there. And then she used some more of that solid cardstock with these beautiful coordinating cutting dies. She used the beautiful tree, and then also these lovely little roses with the little vines on them as well. Really beautiful wintry card. Good job, Debbie. All right, on this one right here, this was our giveaway card for this episode, you guys. So I'm gonna first tell you about the card and then I'll tell you about the giveaway. So 6.5 by 5 inch card. With this one, Debbie covered the bottom of her card using Lilacs in Bloom patterned paper, okay? And this is a 80-pound paper, okay? It's not cardstock, it's paper. And it tears differently, as I showed you in the beginning. So she went ahead and she covered that with the polka dot paper and then took this edge right here and then just traced that and then used her scissors to cut out this bottom edge. But then the next two edges, she used both this edge and this edge right here, okay, to tear strips. Inked the edges of those with violet ink and a blending tool. Glued this one down first, then this one. Before gluing this top one down, she did cover her card with this white and lilac paper, then glued this top one down. So it's a really nice one to use with your scraps. Like, you don't have to cover the entire card. You can cover just the bottom edge with the polka dot and then cover the rest of it up here with this little strip here, and then layer up your borders. And then there's another border at the top here. There's a cutout right here that goes across. Then this is a cutout greeting, and she foam taped that. We also have our giant wheel of foam tape that's buried over here. Here we go. So this is 150 feet or 50 yards of 1/2 inch wide continuous foam tape that Debbie and I absolutely love, use every day. She put that right there, and then just a little bow made from our purple ribbons, and this is a sheer polka dot. That's so cute. So that's how she put that together, then added some purple jewel dazzle stickers. And these just peel off so nicely and just bring a little sparkle to your card. So for this one, you guys, we love doing a card giveaway every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. If you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page at paperwishes.com, we ask that you just hop on over to YouTube. Our website, our channel is called My Paper Wishes, and all you have to do is like, comment, and be a subscriber to that channel. And then after about a week, we will reply to one viewer by saying, congratulations, YouTube username blank. So you're gonna know your YouTube username because there can only be one winner. It's also the name that labeled your comment. So if you go back and check your comment, you'll see your username. It's a good idea to hit that notification bell at the top right-hand corner on YouTube because it lets you know when we drop a new video or we do an announcement. And as I said, we do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday card giveaways, but you would need to participate in each one of those separately, okay? And then we would love to send this to you for free. All right, for our last card, it's a real showstopper that Debbie made. So this one, you guys, this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. Debbie made a Gatefold card. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? She did such a nice job on this. So this one, she used our Sea Life stained glass. Absolutely beautiful. She cut out one of the arches that are there, and we have some that are arches and some that are rectangles. And then she also used the solid core cardstock. And then you'll see some shiny bits right over here. This is Imperial Blue Mirror cardstock by Tonic. All right, this will not tear, okay, because it's got a little plastic resin kind of feeling on the top of it, but the other two absolutely will. And I did talk about this is our patterned cardstocks are 65-pound cover, okay? It means it's a cardstock, but it's a little thicker weight than regular cardstock. And then what she did was she made a Gatefold card, and if you've not made a Gatefold card for the base, it's very simple. You open up your 5 by 6.5 inch card. You can just use a regular ruler and like a bone folder, but if you have a scoreboard, and we sell these at paperwishes.com, it's so handy. So this is 5 inches wide on the card front. You're gonna go over to 2.5 inches, and you're gonna just score that right down the center. Makes it easier to fold if you have a nice score line. Right down there. And then you're gonna fold this side to the card center, and you're gonna just score that again. We're gonna fold it like that. And then on the inside of your card right here, you're gonna wanna cover that with paper so that it doesn't fold like that. All right, so we'll look at Debbie's card. She put some really beautiful paper there. And then on the front side of her little flap here, she covered her card on both sides with this beautiful blue stained glass paper. The entire flap is covered with blue stained glass. Then she took that beautiful Imperial Blue and this ruler with the wave on it, and she actually just took a strip that was this wide, and she just traced this beautiful little wave edge to it, and then she took her scissors and cut out that wave edge. She glued that paper to both sides of the card right up to the edge. And then this paper right here, this lighter blue paper, she took the same one, the same ruler edge, and that's actually the torn edge. If you can just see, there's just a very gentle torn edge, which she then inked with teal ink and glued right over this sparkly Imperial Blue mirror cardstock. And then on the edge, on both sides, she took, these are colorful thin line dazzle stickers, and they have this beautiful mirror finish. Some of them have like a holographic finish. Most of them have a mirror finish, which means they're just very glossy. And she took this teal one right here, and then I believe there's another color, probably the green, and she put those right up next to each other. They also have a scallop on them, which is just gorgeous. Really, really beautifully done. More of this, just a strip here of this mirror that she put on either side, and then inked the edges of her card, and she foam taped. These two are back to back, but they're foam taped on the card with a cutout greeting. Isn't that beautiful? She did a really lovely job. So you guys, these tearing rulers are a blast to use. They give you all these cool layering abilities and really different looks to your cards for making borders or cool card edges as well. So definitely check out our money saver is right there on the right side of our screen. All the other items are listed down below the video. If you're watching us on our paperwishes.com, there's full color photos of the cards, and each item is listed down below that we used. If you're watching us over on YouTube, hello, it would be great if you would subscribe to our channel. It really helps our small company. If you look down below the video in the description box, you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. Let's see what else. Don't forget to participate in our card giveaway, this gorgeous lilac card that Debbie made. And thanks so much for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.